you doing, my friends? Well, it seems like a long time. I'm not tying my soul to the downward grind.
Hey, Tony talking trash about music here. We've got Dino in the house again as we attempt to tackle another behemoth of British rock, the Horrible Who. A fantastic band that is hard to kind of describe. I think Pete Townshend kind of created so much of the world at the end of his pen. It's really lopsided kind of too. I mean, Entwistle did have a decent solo career, but when you really think about the writer and you think about the Who, but then you think about again the individual players and certainly I mean after going through the catalog, Dino, I'm sure you agree that the different drummers and the different era make they each of the players leave a certain imprint depending on their sobriety a lot of times too, I guess.
Right, and I mean, there's no replacing Keith Moon, and I'll preface it out. This band has probably had more animosity and infighting than almost any band that I can. I mean, and that's to this day. They never stop. there's always there's always volatility around later, but all four of them to begin with. I mean, in 1965, at the beginning of the band, Roger Daltrey was thrown out of the band for beating Keith Moon's ass. Okay, so that should tell you something right at the beginning. You got to go. You're sacked. Of course, they brought him back, but that's the nucleus of the band when they first started. He literally got thrown out of the band for fighting and beating him up,
Yeah, he
basically.
was a roughneck. Yeah, he worked at a steel.
Oh yeah, Rogers never was one to be
Yeah,
trifled with,
yeah, he was a
But that
factory. I mean, he's a
but
cat.
that energy, that violence, that animosity, that infighting fueled the band for all these years. I think.
Well, even if you look at the big works, Quadrophenium, Tom,
Oh,
there's conflict in all those in different ways. Quadrophenia is more societal and more political, maybe, or more class oriented
right.
from England than the others. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan. I always was. One of the shows I did see them down at the one of the bands I did see before Entwistle died, and when they did the '96 thing down there where they redid Quadrophenia in the entirety. Man, I thought that was
Wow.
striking. I never
Yeah.
thought I didn't. I know I was too young really to see at the time. When you're looking at that, it's early
Yeah.
'70s. I wasn't really that tuned into to them, but
I never
yeah,
saw that. I never
yeah,
got to see that. They did Tommy on Broadway again. They
yeah. My God, so
reimagined
many times.
it. You know,
Yeah,
Tommy's been
Tommy,
carted
man,
out quite a few times. Yeah.
no doubt about it. And I think, like we said at the beginning, I think I mentioned before we went on the air, Dino. There are a couple really good compilations there, man. That that
Oh
that
yeah.
kind of sum up where they're coming from.
And
What do
and even some of the compilations, people they were so popular and they were so encompassing in the way that they were compiled that some people even thought they were actual releases. Like I mean, I remember somebody telling me about Meaty Beady Big and Bouncy, and they go, "Hey, have you heard the new Who album?" And I was like, "What?" And they were landmark compilations.
There's no
So
no question. Meaty, big, and bouncy also has. I don't even have it pulled here, but it has all the it has all the early singles. Substitute, your legal matter,
sure.
songs like that. Like Pictures of Lily. God, what a
Oh
great
my God.
era that is. See, I love all that stuff. That's I'm a big sucker for that sing songy stuff, pop stuff. But yeah, we got 13 of them, man. You want me to go first? You want to go first? How do you want?
Why don't you go first? There we go.
Okay, I will roll first, man. Here we go. Now, to me, just philosophically, as I look through the Who thing, and we didn't do much about the history of that. They've so much of it's been done, but there are really about three eras of the Who that I consider. I consider the era where the four members Moon, Entwistle,
Right.
Townsend, Daltrey, and then you've got Moon bowing out and Kenny Jones coming in, and that's the second one that lasted just two records, Face Dances, and It's Hard. And then you
Right.
go into the post stuff, and the post stuff, both were released. Studio records were both released post Whistle, which is kind of strange. But so, and that's where I'm starting here with this. To me, there's two of those records. This one was from 2006. This is Endless Wire. This I think this is to me by far the worst record. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't like fragments. I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like
Right.
the whole. It's just so much of this album sounds, imitative to me of what it is. In the ethers is okay. It's not enough. God speaks of Marty Robbins. It's just two stages. Then the Wire and Glass. They try with that repetition thing, and it's going too much. We Got a Hit is not a hit. I don't think. That's like one of their things in part of this. It's a big thing that Pete did. But the truth of this is more to me akin like a weak Iron Man or a weak
Yeah.
it's more of a Pete Townsend thing all the way around. It doesn't sound anything like the Who. I mean, when you
Right.
hear Townsend's voice, I mean Townsend's voice is in there a lot. But when you hear Daltrey's voice on these songs, I never went back to it. I didn't like it. I didn't like where it was coming from. I just thought it was imitative, and 2006, and I'm really kind of against any of the records they did post Ent Whistle being gone, and even if you think about that, Post Moon, those are not my favorite. My favorite eras, you'll soon find out here, but this is by far my least. This one is an extra level below, and it's really I can't believe they actually put that out. But
Well,
that's my number
that's
30.
your 13, right?
Yep, yep.
Well, my 13 is Endless Wire.
Yeah, I figured it
And
was
you've already covered it pretty extensively. I think the same way. And you know what my favorite part? I think, and I'm trying to remember back. What's the year on that again? That was
2006. It's oh 06.
2000. You know what I liked best about that album when it
Uh-uh.
came out? I bought it. I bought it on CD at Best Buy, and guess what I got? I got a bonus live album with
Oh,
that, and it was a Best Buy only promo,
there you go.
and that was my favorite part of the album.
Yeah, the new stuff.
Was the live bonus disc. So
Wow. Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
into that wire and glass. The wire and glass thing, that side C especially. I thought they made a big
right.
deal of that, and that just to me not. I don't. They had a tour, I guess, but I didn't. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was really cheap when it was released, and it
Yeah.
said buy this week or brand new introductory bonus live disc, and I was like, hell, I'll get the live disc I liked more than the album.
Oh
So
yeah. Well, there you go. So we have agreement with that one on number 13. My number 12. We're going on to number 12. I might surprise you here with this one. Well, my number 12 is going to be the second of the Kenny Jones records. It's hard. And yeah, but the rest of the record, I don't know. Uh, Athena is okay, but it's just not good enough. They're like to me, this song reminds me in style and in substance like a swing and a miss Who by Numbers attempt. It's what it sounds.
yeah,
Sounds like
and
he just can't quite
I
get.
really liked Eminence Front. I thought that was a pretty good song.
Me too. Me too. But I mean, it's miles above the last one. But it's numbered. It's my number
Oh
12.
yeah,
That's
so
my
It's Hard came in at number 12.
for me. Yes, it did from 82.
Well, you can keep it right up there. That's my number
Oh,
12. It's like
well,
it's all falling into place. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Songs on this record. One at a time. One life's enough. Cooks County. Dangerous. A man is a man. Cry if you want. The one song sounds like. Forget which one it is, but it sounds just like that song
yeah,
from you know, You will be redeemed from who I can't remember what song
Y-
that is.
yeah. I haven't listened to It's Hard in quite some time.
Yeah, man is a man. Okay, number
11.
for me is going to be the first of the Kenny Jones record. Face dances here. You
There
better
we
you
go.
back. The quiet one. Did you steal my money? And it's just, it's better. It's wickedly better. Another tricky day. Good record. The guy Bill Smizek, I think, is the guy that would help them with it. He was the he was guy that did some of the Eagles records. So they kind of got that EQ feeling to it. I don't know what that means, but to me, it means something. Just the way the Eagles records sound, and they sound perfect, and they sound great, but yeah, these are all portraits here of different people, portraits of the Who on the front that were painted by different painters, and they have them identified here. That's how they
Absolutely.
invited
You
everybody.
Better You Bet was a pretty good single for them. It
Oh
it uh
yeah, it
it
was.
it got all the airplay. Yeah, off
Yeah,
that album.
yeah. That was the first one. So, but
But
anyway,
once again, we're into the Kenny Jones period again.
yes, indeed,
Uh,
that's my number. That's it. That's Face Dances. That's 1981. That's my number 11.
so you might as well keep it up there because my number 11 is Face Dances
It's
also.
crazy. Look at us. We're matching straight up. All right, man.
Well, I think after this is when the road will part. After
Probably
this,
will. Probably will.
we'll part and go to different destinations.
Well,
But Face Dances, same thing. Kenny Jones period. Not a huge fan. I listened to it when it came out. I gave it a chance more than once.
me too.
Uh, I love the artwork. I think that album is
I do too.
one of
That's
the,
really good art. I was just looking to see about the design.
especially with vinyl. I think it's
Peter,
wonderful.
Peter Blake, of course,
Yes,
with
it's
all
it's
the
great.
tubes of paint, the different things there. Yeah, I like it.
So it's so cool. The graphics on that
Yeah,
for the vinyl were fantastic.
I like it.
But Face Dances, yeah, at number 11, same
Okay,
thing.
number 11 with me. Okay, now I'm going to go to the most recent one that they call the Who record, which really shouldn't be a Who record, but I think it's really strong. This is what I'm talking about. This one, and then they
The
actually have
Who,
you can buy it as a
yeah.
5, so you can buy it as this. I'm talking about the Who, and I'm just thinking there's a major difference in the quality of the songs. Uh,
Oh yeah,
and I just think the new ones with I think Roger Daltrey's voice on a lot of this. All this music must fade. Ball and Chain. Detour's great. Beads on
yeah,
one string. Hero out. I think the whole street song. I'll be back. Speak the news. Rockin' in rage. She rocked my world's the only one I really don't like that much. It's the last song, but the rest of it, I think
yeah,
it's the songs are way another level. And it sounds like they're not. Sounds like that other record, Endless Wire, was kind of maybe controlled by the stage band that they had going from Quadrophenia.
yeah. And this one seems harder too. It kind of harkens back a little bit to the
Yeah,
earlier
I,
incarnation of the band.
I agree.
That's why I really liked it. And you might as well hold it up there at number 10 because that's my number 10.
Yeah, there
Is
you go, man.
is the Who. Yeah, I kind of found it. I thought it was a return to form for them in a lot of ways,
I did
uh,
too, man. I like Ball and
and that
Chain.
was refreshing.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound all Townsend like a lot of the other stuff. It's kind of even if face dances and that stuff kind of went that way. If
Oh yeah, yeah.
man, that's great. That's great. Well, we got all the same thing. It's crazy that we've matched up. This will be the first time ever. But so okay, man. So we are now at
Number nine,
number nine. Number
number
nine.
nine,
Nine. It's
number
gonna be the
nine.
end. It's gonna be the end. It's gonna be Who Are You for me. It's gonna be the end.
Wow.
Sister
Okay.
Disco, music must change. Who are you? Love is coming down. And again, a big difference for the stuff before. I think this is where probably, some people would have stopped, when Mooney wasn't in it anymore because there was he added a certain unpredictability to it and color to it that you didn't really ever have after that. And a whole dimension of the jewel was lost. I mean, that's how I see it. I think
Yeah.
it's an MCA record, but
And what does it say on Keith's chair on the front
it's
cover?
it says not to be taken away.
There we go.
Uh,
Not to be taken away.
And there it is in the dump or whatever it is, right? Or no, it's not in the dump. It's where, oh no, it's actually somebody probably used it there to keep clear electrical area.
The very last album that Keith Moon appears on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm,
yeah, that is, I think "Who Are You" is one of their most powerful songs
me
off
too.
that one. You
That's
know,
fine, man.
and Keith's all over that song. You know,
I know. He
uh,
is. I just
so
love Keith.
that's your number nine. Who are
That's
you?
1978, bro.
My number nine,
Yes.
The Who by Numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Da, da, da. What is it that makes it there for you? You see, just you like
You know, everything. Slip Kid, fantastic. You know, Squeeze Box, blue, red, and gray.
yeah.
You know, however much I booze, it's
That's
like I I I always liked that album. I mean, I liked it. It's not in my top five, but maybe in some other days it could be there. You know, I
yeah. I,
that's you
yeah.
know that's by numbers at number nine for me.
I got you, brother. I got you, man. Yeah, piano, Nicky Hopkins on some of this. That's right. Okay, man. Well, my number nine. We're going to go back to talked about Who Are You before. Now we're going to go back to my number nine, which is going to be a. I have it on a compilation here that I'm showing you on vinyl since I never did it. And the CDs and stuff. I should probably buy another, but I'm talking about the first record, My Generation.
Wow,
The Who sing My Generation.
there we go.
Before the songwriting was really super developed. They didn't. They had the songwriting there.
Yeah.
Or there. And you had stuff, and you know what? I love these two for this. This is a whole two for catalog. And guess what? There's one up. Do you know there's a Sparks one here? There's a Sparks two for catalog. There's a lot of them here. There's even
Oh
actually
wow, that's on the insert.
Trap Family Singers. Okay, out in the street, I don't mind. La La Lies, I like. The Kids Are All Right, of course. I think it's one of the
Is
great songs anybody's ever done, ever. Legal Matters on there, you know, Instant Party, The Ox. But again, kind of a rumbling thing here. The Who Sing My Generation, I'm basically, that's my number. That's my number. And just because it's not as developed to me musically, but, you know, some people like that rawness. I'm sure to the garage rock fans, it's
that's your number? That's
that's
your
my number
number eight.
eight, 1965. The Who Sing My Generation.
Okay, we're gonna go back. On my number eight is "Who Are You."
Number
Okay,
eight is Who Are You, which is the one that I had already. At
right.
number
Yeah. So there we go. The last appearance of Keith Moon.
there it is, man.
Um, it's just
No,
so.
I've had enough. Sister Disco
Yep.
must change.
Sister
Guitar
Disco
trickle.
had enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, he fatally overdosed a month after that release.
yeah, no, it happened really.
And speaking of Moon, my, you know, they replaced the drummer, of course. Zach Starkey ended up, you know, with the gig for quite some time. My favorite candidate and a huge Who fan, plays very much in the style of Keith, was Clem Burke from Blondie, believe it
Oh,
or not.
yeah,
And he would have. Have you ever seen Clem's kit? He's
I
got the
yeah.
he's got the arrows. He's got the arrows like the old Who. You know what I mean? He
Oh my God,
has that on his kit, and he's always played that way. And I mean, I know he never got an audition, but man, you talk about someone who would have changed that band. I've seen Clem a half dozen times at least, Blondie and other
yeah.
acts that he's played with, but he's a basher like Keith, and I think he would have been a perfect fit for that band
I
at
think you're
his
right.
age.
I think you're right. I think the stuff he's done outside of that was he was in that band Checkered Past. I was surprised
Yeah, and
how
he
funky.
also he played with the Romantics from Detroit for a while.
No, I didn't. I didn't know he
Yeah,
doesn't surprise.
yeah.
Got that kind of energy behind it. It's good.
Yeah, and I think he would have been I think the band would have gone in that things would have been different, I think, if someone like that would have gotten into the band instead of that Jones period. That's to be honest with you, that's probably one of the weakest periods of the band, I think. The Kenny Jones period.
Yeah.
You know, he was serviceable and he's a very good musician, but I don't think he brought that manic energy to the
Mm.
band that Keith had.
Oh, they absolutely didn't. That's for sure.
No,
I'm
not at all.
yeah. I'm going to number seven now in 1966.
Okay.
I'm talking about Happy Jack, a quick one.
Oh, there we go.
That's one of my favorites. I mean, you talk
There
about
we go.
the early one with Whiskey Man. I Need You. I
I
kind of like
love it.
Booney songs on this. See My Way is fantastic. They all write more on this stuff. And there's the original. United States.
Yeah.
But
Did you know they retitled that Happy Jack in the U.S.
yeah, a quick one.
instead of a quick one because they titled it after the song when they
Yep,
released it?
yep.
Which
It
I
was
don't understand. I have no idea why. That
well. It's Happy Jack was their last song. I guess it was okay, but I mean, but a quick one while he's away was the sweet. So sad about us is the one, and it sounds very and don't look away. That sound very much like the romantic type of rock
right,
power pop
right.
that would follow. It's really it helped when it's worked its way through Paul Weller and the whole place. That was a
Yeah.
huge thing. Oasis, the whole, and that's my number 7,
Seven.
66.
My my seven is My Generation.
There it is again.
There it
Boom.
is. Same thing. Everything that you said, I agree with. Not completely developed, but the energy's certainly there. You knew
R&B,
they were on the way up when you listen to that album.
big R&B thing, man.
Oh, huge, huge, huge. Love that album. I mean, it was one of the first things I heard by the Who. So I, instantly jumped on that one. And like you said, the Weller influence. There's been so many bands that have been influenced. I mean, you could say the Jam and Weller definitely lifted right from that album in that period,
Yeah,
but and that's always been but it's a lot of bands that bands that have come from England have used the Who as a model. you know
true. That's true. Some of the stuff too. I wanted to say we didn't use Magic Bus. Magic Bus says it's a live record. It's semi a live record.
yeah,
It's got a lot of other stuff on it, but it is a compilation, so that's why we didn't use it. It's another thing,
we didn't.
big and bouncy. Pictures of lilies, things like that. Single versions of "I Can't Reach You" and "I Love Was" and
Yeah,
"Disguises." Love "Disguises," man. I used to play "Disguises." "Disguises" is a great song. Uh, number 6 for me. Right? It's the number 6 time for me.
yeah, number 6.
Okay, you did your number 7 there. That was my general.
Yes, that was My Generation.
All right, my number 6 is going to be the one that you had a little bit before there, and that's 1974. Is who by number.
High numbers. Wow, you got a little bit higher than me. Yeah,
Yeah, I like Imagine a Man a lot. I love They're All in Love is one of my favorites. Now, how many friends have I got? I don't like that much. So, I mean, really, when you look at it, the truth of it is kind of from the
yeah,
dreaming of the ways. However much I boost, it's a little bit of a downtrodden from. It's kind of like a mix between, like a halfway between maybe Rough Boys, Chinese Eyes, and what the Who were doing before. So yeah, that's my number. That's for a little bit of a disappointment. 1975's Who by number, as I said, 74, so I had 75, and that's my number 6.
your number 6. My number 6 is an album called Quadrophenia.
Oh,
So that's where it falls on my list. Is
gotcha. Number
you know
Quadrophenia is really great. Well, this Quadrophenia I have actually has a
oh yeah,
book in it and everything, and really,
concept piece set in the mod era. You know, pill popping teenager Jimmy. I mean, there's there's so much, and I think it definitely examined their four-way dynamic, maybe that they had. The band, rockers, mods. You know,
mash.
and it brought us "Love Rain O'er Me," which is God. That's definitely one of their greatest tracks. I think in my you know
Yeah, it's amazing to me. I'm looking through this booklet. Nobody today's would dare to be able to print up this. I mean, this is a high quality, about 30-page booklet that you get with that you originally got.
Wow, with Quadrophenia.
Oh yeah, really, really great.
Wow,
I got my thing here. This is an old. I don't know what that's from. What this?
good album, and it. People don't realize how hard it is to make a film based on an album. And I thought it was. I liked the film. I've liked both Who films that they've done. You know, and I thought Quadrophenia was a pretty entertaining film. I mean, for what it was. You know.
I got you, brother. Okay, man. That is your number one.
That is my number 6,
Your
Quadrophenia.
number 6. My number 5 is going to be what everybody would expect my number 5 to be. And, it would be the thing, obviously, if you think about this band, you think, well, this is obviously the lower of the barrel. My number 5's Tommy, man.
Wow.
Uh, I've overplayed it. It's overplayed, in my opinion. It's overdone. I'm punishing it a little bit for the rapidity of the live reliance on it and what happened for a long time. I've got original here with the booklet inside with the gorgeous
Right.
his booklet and everything, and it's really great. I mean, it's a great package. You can see the stuff. Look, at the time it was something else. At the time it was something new. But as far as this is about ones that I like. As far as the greatest works, well, you probably would put this at number one because it is their
Right.
work as far as studio work, imaginative and things like that. It was, but to me, the recording and the songs I just don't find myself pulling out a lot of this stuff other than what you hear all the time on the, you hear
Yeah.
Sid Queen a lot of time on that, but hell, I'm just liable to hear as much Tina Turner as I am there.
Oh,
There's,
yeah.
from this record especially. Now, from this point on, you hear a lot more of this stuff. The Pinball Wizard, of course, was there were three people.
Right.
Uh, See Me, Feel Me is probably the one that everybody talks about. Fiddle About, Pinball Wizard. Okay. Yeah, man, I loved it. Did I love this movie? Yeah, and I also liked the movie that was after that was made with Roger Daltrey and Anne Margaret and all that shit. I went to the Kaiser Music Theater, man. I did. I walked out of there like I was
And
on another
and you
planet.
saw Tommy, the original Tommy with
I couldn't believe it, man. No, the one that they had at the Kaiser. I didn't see the original Tommy show, but I saw
No,
with
but you saw the film
yeah
with
when the yeah the
yeah.
film thing came out. Yeah, yeah, it was
Oh, it
it.
was fantastic. I saw it twice. I
Yeah, I
loved it.
was there with my girlfriend, like Tanya, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like shocked.
I loved it.
Thing ever.
So don't that's your number 5. So don't
Number
put that away cuz
9, the one that kept it there.
don't put it away cuz that's my number 5.
Oh boy, okay, so good, man. I'm glad I'm not on my own.
No,
It's
Tommy's definitely in my top 5. One of the most listened to. Love the film. What I always wondered about the film is how in God's name I've always wanted to see a behind the scenes documentary of the making of Tommy because I don't know how you could keep Oliver Reed and Keith Moon in the same room together. Two world class drinkers. I
and
mean,
what a piece of art with this whole thing. The way it is.
oh yeah,
Amazing
yeah. I mean, it's
design.
just God. It's wonderful.
It was the thing else based the rest of them on from that point
I
on.
love, I love, and I like the album. I think it's chock full. I think they've exploited it a lot over the years, and they've had the Broadway version and everything else. But it's just it's fantastic, man. I mean, people keep wanting to see it in different versions. I almost went to see Tommy the musical on Broadway, and I never got a chance. I should have, because I love the album and I love the film.
Here's the other part of it. In the back of it, it has. I don't know if he got this from his guru or whatever he got it from, but there's this picture in the back of it. Look at this. I just pulled from this picture. Look what it says at the top of it.
Wow. Yeah, I can't see it from here.
He says the theme of the sermon has come unto me. Love will find a way.
Yes.
That's pretty cool that it's like outside the lyrics or whatever. You got Sally Simpson and everything here. It's awesome, man. This is a great.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that all you got all this inside it. It's all the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pretty cool. Two separate things. All right, but anyway, yeah,
So
man.
what's your 4?
My number 5. We're ready for my number 4.
Yes.
My number 4, man. We're not that far off. How could we be? My number 4 is a beach is a place where a man can be. I love it, man. No, I love it, man.
Yeah, we just
Bellboy,
flip flopped on those.
I
Yeah.
think get running now, Bellboy. I love it, man. I love
I love it.
sand and the one that gets me, man, is Dirty Jobs. My old man tells me you've been screwed again. If you let him do it to you, you got yourself to blame. It's you who takes the shame. It's you who feels the pain. Oh my God, man. I am a young man. I ain't done very much. Oh, when they
So
played that
good.
96 thing, and like it was a strain for him to go. But when he comes back in at the end, man, it's Daltrey when he goes, "I am a young man." I mean, the fucking just like flies through the air, man. This is great. And of course, Love Rain on Me, 515, Seeing Sand.
Yeah.
I love Seeing Sand. Bellboy, of course, I've had enough. But the Dirty Jobs, man, to me is a favorite.
Well, did
The
you
real-
did did you happen to see when they were inducted? I think it was the Hall of Fame induction or two tributers. I can't remember what it was. But and I don't give them a lot. I'm not a huge fan of Pearl Jam,
Uh-huh.
but they did Eddie Vedder. They did a cover of "Love Rain Over Me,"
Oh, really?
and I've never heard. And he's the only one that I think could have done it, and he hit the highs. And it was
Wow.
an amazing cover of that
And
song, and I was blown
I
away.
didn't see them in any of the Doug. I should see those. I don't really watch his Hall of Fame things like I did. I
I don't
heard.
know if it was the Hall of Fame or maybe it was a tribute to the Who. I can't remember what it was, but that was the song they chose to do. Uh, and
Wow.
Vetter wrapped himself around it pretty well. I was in shock how good it was.
Well, there it is, man. That's my 1971
Quadrophenia, man.
number four,
Yeah,
bro. Number four.
that's your number four. My number four, a quick one, Happy Jack in the United
Da-da,
States.
da-da, da-da,
I love it. It's a It's a
da-da.
great album. I've been a fan since the beginning on that one. You know, always right there for me.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know,
Forest the Spot,
uh,
Need You, Whiskey Man, Heat Wave. Even the cover,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Cobwebs and Strange. That's a Moon song. That's way up.
Boris the Spider, man, and
Awesome.
Twistle's Boris the Spider. See My Way, Cobwebs and Strange by Moon.
It's just so short, man. That's a problem. A quick one. It's like
Yeah, it is. It is.
too
But
short.
I love it. I love a quick one, Happy Jack. That's
All
my
right,
number four.
that's your number four. We're ready to go to my number three.
There we go.
For number three, we're getting into the thing of where I'm going to talk about more music, more music, more music.
There
Who sell out, folks?
it is.
My
Sellout.
stereo copy is 74950 Decca Records. I just love it, man. I love the whole put on. I love the whole thing. You know, we actually did the second side of our record, of our WildFlow record was patterned after that, where we did all the commercials and stuff about the
Oh yeah.
we
It's
did songs about joking songs all about COVID though, like like
I love it.
like the beach COVID thing and stuff. But yeah, this is just great, man.
So
Odorona,
that's your number
Hunch,
three? The
that's my number
sellout?
man. The Who
Okay.
sell out and with I Can't Reach You, Medak. What's the one on the second side? You take away the breath I
Triumphant.
was saving for sunrise. Oh my God. Just and it
Yeah.
and the great as they this is a great deluxe one, man. All the deluxe stuff like Jaguar and the different things that they had back then, Hall of the Mountain King.
Oh, everything. Marianne with the shaky
All
hands.
the different versions are awesome. Yeah, really good.
I can see for miles.
Yeah, I played
Tattoos one of my favorite tracks. I've always
yeah, I
loved
played
that
Marianne and it didn't go over too well at Stickley's party at the party they had over there.
one. Really?
Because I guess it was for their daughter. I wasn't trying to make any, but I did.
I love that track, and I love Tattoo, man. Tattoo is a
Oh, me
great
too.
song.
That
Very
he really
underrated.
oh so totally hypnotic. I love the whole record. I remember going up to John Medvick's house, and John Medvick turned me on to it for the first time.
That's one of it's right there. So
No,
that's your number three. So
that's my
we're gonna be in the top three is gonna be all pretty much.
yep.
My top three is
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of people will call their Mount Rushmore, I'm sure, of Who albums. My number three is actually Who's Next, which you know, iconic. It's the like I said, it's the Mount Rushmore. It goes up there with Zeppelin, and you pick the biggest Zeppelin and the biggest Stones album. You always put Who's next to it, right? It's got the hits. It's got every song that everybody knows by heart. You know, if you've ever heard the Who, you've heard something from Who's Next.
Yeah, I might as well keep talking about it because that's my number two.
Wow.
And Bob O'Reilly, Bargain. I think some of the other songs like Love Ain't for Keeping and
Oh yeah.
Is Over are underrated because the other would go in mobile too. But getting into
Going Mobile is a fantastic cut. Yeah,
yeah,
they all.
they wore Huga Baba and Won't Get Fooled Again out, man. They just wore those out and
Yeah, and they still do. I
yeah.
mean, because classic rock radio has to play the same tunes over and over. But
Behind
off that album, there's so many other tunes that you can play. You
yeah,
know,
Blue Eyes too. Blue Eyes
Blue
was a
Eyes is
AM.
fantastic. Jesus, what a
And my wife's probably Entwistle's greatest hit, so probably
oh yeah. I that album you can listen to front to back.
that
Like
is
I've said, all Thriller, no filler on that album.
no doubt about it, brother. That is my
It's
number two, man. So
so mine is my Who's Next number 3 for me. Number 2 for you is Who's Next. My number 2 is one of the best live albums I've ever heard, and that's Live at Leeds. There it is. Uh, and you could that album
with the
the
what do we need here?
the version of Young Man Blues is
Shipping this and
unbelievable.
get in here the EMI rejection letter to Kit Lambert.
It's
We get
great.
the Who's agency thing, the Who, how much money they made at different places there through the year.
Absolutely.
Big long thing.
Absolutely.
It's great, man. The words of my generation.
It's good. And I had a deluxe CD version that had everything in it also. It was a double, this big double pack. And
Yeah,
it
with
was,
they took out the whole. They made the whole.
yeah.
I
So
don't.
Live at Leeds, it's got all the hits,
There's more
and
shit.
it's got my favorite track is Young Man Blues.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, yep. You got well. You're number two. You know what my number? What that makes my number two.
What did
Your number
that
two,
you
my number
what
one.
is
Got one left, and we're talking about it at the same time. No question about it. To me, the greatest live album ever by anybody. I think the first side, in fact, is so good with the end of Shaking All Over that I think
oh
any
yeah.
band should just pack it up and pack it in and quit. I mean, when you hear the first side and you hear how the
Yeah.
rhythmically everything goes when he's like bearing down that shit was down my backbone, the power of that of Moon, do just battered that.
Yeah.
We're just keeping it in. He switches on the wah wah wah. Wah. Oh my god, dude! It's even Hendrix, man, dude. I'm telling you that first side is great. The second side, I don't like My Generation that or Magic Bus that much, but again, the pounding of it and the power of it and the way they improvise on it, to me, there's nothing like it. And so I know what that leaves you as number one, man.
Number 1 is my favorite Who album of all time, and that is Sellout.
Heinz
Uh,
Baby
I
Gang,
think it's I think it's the greatest concept album in rock, as far as I'm concerned.
it's
And
pretty.
I've got the deluxe editions that I've gone through. I've got the normal one album, single album, but the deluxe editions even fills it out more songs, more commercials, more everything. And I think it's seamless, man. I mean, it's just
And
it
from the
was
beginning, yeah, when you hear the first version of If You're Troubled and You Can't, oh my God.
I
And
mean, it's so good. The first time I ever listened to that, I had the vinyl and I had all the lights out and I had the stereo on and I listened to it at 3 in the morning. And I was certainly altered at the time. And I was like, God, it's just unbelievable. And I think they were at the height of their powers then when they did sell out.
they were, listen, this is the first time I've ever heard this on this credited like this. I've
Yeah.
never seen this in a track listing before. After I Can't Reach You on the second side, that little bit of that every time it's called Spot Memory.
Right.
It's I
Right.
didn't know that. The first time I'd ever seen that.
Yeah.
I knew it was a separate song, but I never seen it listed. I thought it was just like they put it as a thing. Wow, I
Yeah.
never seen it named. Incredible. Yeah,
It's
this is I got a
amazing.
clean copy, man. This is a
It's
yeah, I love.
amazing. It's in the fill out the deluxe editions and all the things that have come out since and the remasters. I've
Well, I
listened
got
to
two
every.
of these, man. I got two deluxe vinyls
Yeah.
over
That
there.
poster with the two on the front and the two on the back, all four of them. I had a poster, a recreation of that I bought in Florida. I had it in my bedroom for years till it disintegrated after another move. But
Yeah,
Sellout was there.
it has the poster in it too with the psychedelic
Yeah,
poster.
now that's got the original poster in it that they
Wow.
did. But I had
Yeah.
a poster of the album, the front and back of the
Oh, you
album
mean like a sales thing of the poster?
with all of them. Yeah, and it was done.
Wow.
And I've never been able to find it since. It came apart in all my moves, and I never got it framed, which I should have. I really liked it because
Here's the one I was
it
telling you. One that they put out as an advertisement thing. It was
well, as a
insane.
matter of fact, when you look at that out, yeah, that's the original sellout poster that came with the original release.
Wow.
But I had one of the front and back, and if you look at the front and back, you got what you got Daltrey and
Townsend.
Townsend on the front, and you've got Entwistle, and do you know what other you know what other album ripped that off?
Uh-uh. Well, I've seen Ball,
Cheap Trick
BALL stuff.
in color, Cheap Trick in color and black and white. You got the two guys on the front. You got the two guys. You got the drummer and the bass player
Oh,
on the
yeah.
back,
Yeah, the
right?
two thing. I never thought about that. Yeah.
Same exact thing. They did the same
You're
exact
right.
thing when they released in color.
I wonder
And
how I wonder how the hell they got to draw lots about who was on what. But you
well,
look,
you got to remember, it's Daltrey and Townsend were the front men.
yeah, you look at Townsend's eyes. I mean, look at the expression on his face there, man.
Let me see. Move it over a
He's
little.
he's he's beaming, man. Look at him.
Yeah. So,
Especially that
yeah,
blue man looks. He's like
yeah. Such a such
anyway.
a
Yeah, man.
such a landmark album.
It
And
is.
I'd say anyone that's done a concept album in rock since then, listen to that first. You know what I
Uh,
mean? They heard it and went, "Wow, wonder if we can pull off something like this."
it's true. He's one of the first to ever have that kind of
Well, and
ambition.
they've done it. They've done it three times. I mean, they've done it with Sellout. They've done it with Quadrophenia, and they've done it with Tommy. I
Yeah,
mean, how many bands can pull that off and be successful?
true. And my apologies, everybody, for not explaining in advance about us including Live at Leeds. But to me, Live at Leeds is another
Right.
animal. And I'm going to start to asterisk out what I'm doing. I was noticing that, a lot of the hot tuna thing I'm getting ready to do here is some of it's live and it's all new material. So to
Very
me,
good.
get into the West Coast, you're starting to drift into
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff recorded live and stuff too. So, but we
Oh,
need to come
absolutely.
back and do the tracks, man. How many you think we can get out of them? 25 or so, maybe.
Oh man, that's gonna be a that's gonna be a monumental to
Well, we
just to
or 15 or whatever.
yeah, we could do maybe 15 and just do the best,
Okay.
you know.
Got it, man. Well, we'll come back at you guys next time with some new stuff, and we're working on some other stuff too. So
Yeah.
we will be talking at you guys shortly, and catch you later. Thanks for bearing with us. As things ended up being a little bit longer than we thought it would be, but
Yeah, but it is the Who.
that's
So, I mean,
true.
there's there's a lot to cover, you
That's
know,
true, and we haven't
for a
talked.
legendary band. Yeah, I mean, it's they deserve their due.
Oh, absolutely, they
So,
do. All right, y'all. Well, thanks again. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Please do us a favor and hit that like button. That'll help us out. And we will catch you guys next time on the flip for
yeah,
the new.
and leave your list and your opinion. We'd like to see it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks everybody.